Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of Let's Talk Lenawee. And today we are on location at Michigan International Speedway in Brooklyn, Michigan, in the Irish Hills. And there's a few things coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But we have our guest, Joe Fowler. He's the president of MIS on with us, and we're excited to be here, Joe.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So lots of things coming up in the next couple of weeks. We got faster horses at the middle of July.
Middle of July, yeah.
Middle of July, and then race weekend, August 4th through 6th, right?
4th, 5th, and 6th, yeah. We're right in the middle of event season, so the next 30 days are going to be a little nuts on our side, but we're looking forward to it.
Lots to do. We were kind of talking about there's a lot that goes on behind scenes. Everyone talks about there's only one race a year, but there's so much that goes into it and a pretty small staff that has to do it all.
Yeah, we have a lean and mean team. There's no doubt about that. But, you know, everybody plays a big role in getting this place ready all year long. And, you know, the lead up to 30 days, getting ready for these events, it's intense, but everybody does a great job for us.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting weekend. The stands will be nice and full, so it'll look a lot different on race weekend than what we have here today, but kind of a glimpse of kind of what you can see if you haven't been to the track yet. This year's also a special year with NASCAR's 75th anniversary. Is there any fun commemorative events happening on race weekend?
Yeah, well, so 75 years of any sport is a pretty big milestone. And so, you know, as an industry for us at NASCAR, it's a really cool chance to celebrate the past, you know, our history, and then, you know, where we're at today, and then look forward to a bright future as well. But we have some things lined out. You know, we'll have the NASCAR experience in the Fan Plaza again. We'll pay tribute to some of the things that have happened at MIS over the years. And we're working with the Roush Museum. We're going to bring in some pretty historic cars from his collection that'll be here.
Wow, okay.
One of which was a winning car here at MIS. We're
Really?
trying to do things for the fans that are just cool and unique and help celebrate our, you know, 75 years of the sport, 55 years of our Speedway. But it'll be fun. It'll be cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. There's so much in the Fan Plaza, and we'll talk about that kind of later. But just lots to do even before the green flag even drops. I mean, all week long there's stuff going on here. But for people who don't know, MIS is actually known as one of NASCAR's fastest tracks, and it has been for a while. What are some of the speeds that people can see when they come out for a race weekend?
Well, the speeds have varied over the years by the different cars that have been on track. And you're right, there was a point where we were the fastest, and then we were the second fastest. But we're right up there at the top again. And with the new next-gen car that was debuted last year, their average top speed was over 190 miles an hour. So, and that's an average speed. So, you know, they're reaching points where they're even closer to the 200 mark.
Right.
But, yeah, it's an impressive track when it comes to speed. There isn't anything faster.
It is. And we talked about it kind of earlier. If you've been around the track, even in much slower speeds than that, it's wild. I mean, the banking is 18 degrees here, right, in the track?
Up to 18, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's something to be around, especially even just sitting in the stands when people are zooming by. I mean, literally, I just see people's hats flying off, and it's quite the experience.
It's a rush. And that's one thing about our sport that I think is just so incredibly cool. It's just such a visceral experience, right? You know, the sights, the sounds, the smell of the engines, you know, the fuel, the rubber, all of that. It's really cool to be in the stands. You don't get that effect when you watch it from home. You know, I think even first timers, they come, they say, wow, this is intense. This is a lot more than I ever expected, and it's a blast.
And it's a sport that we always talked about, too. You can really get up close and personal with a lot of the drivers and the crew members. I mean, we'll kind of roll into it, but you have experiences like the pre-race pass where people can literally walk on pit road. And you think about other pro sports, you can't get that close to teams like that.
Yeah, it's something that we're really proud of as an industry. You know, we have more access, I would say, to the athletes than any other sport. You know, you mentioned the pre-race pass. It's a great example. You can get right down on the turf. We have a big stage in the infield where the drivers are introduced, and you know, we have DJs. It's a pretty cool atmosphere. But just to be able to be right up front and center to see all that,
right? It's
not something you get to do at most places.
Right.
So it makes us pretty unique.
Yeah, I mean, imagine just standing stage side, slapping your favorite driver's hand, wishing them good luck to go out in the race. I mean, no other sport you get to do that, so it's amazing.
No, and we have driver appearances throughout the week, you know, in various places, some of our hospitality areas, and even some in our fan plaza. So, yeah, it's really cool that they engage with the fans. They love it. Our fans love it that they do that, obviously, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So besides a pre-race pass, there's a few other upgrades that fans who have tickets can purchase. So there's the Eric Jones experience, and then the tailgate zone as well. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so both are new. Eric Jones is a Michigan driver. He's from the area, and so he's very popular here. Has a ton of fans, and so he brings his own fan club, his family and friends that come, and so we put this package together so our fans can be a part of that same thing. And so he'll go out and do a Q&A session, and I'm sure he'll sign some autographs when he can, and it's pretty cool. And then the tailgate zone is something we came up with this year just to try something new. We had some real estate on call it the south side of the grandstands.
Okay.
Just outside in our fan plaza area. And we thought, that's a heck of a place for somebody to come out and have a tailgate. So we built the area, and I think for whoever goes in there, it's a really cool location. I mean, you're literally feet from the track. So
really?
Not the track itself, but the entrances to the track.
Yeah,
so you're right
short
there.
Walk from...
Very short walk. A nice little bit of space. You can put out tailgate games and enjoy the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to talk about too, which some people who might not know, that a lot of sporting events you go to, you have to pay for parking, you pay for your ticket and all these things. But when you come here, you have free parking and you have free shuttles to get you, in case you do have to make a little bit of a hike. You can hop on a tram for free.
You're right. And, we talked about the access making us unique. Another thing I think makes us really unique, and I'm so proud of this fact too. It's really affordable. An adult ticket for our biggest event of the year here at MIS is $39, and youth 12 and under, they started just $10 for the cup race. Now on Saturday, youth 12 and under, and Friday for that matter, for ARCA and Xfinity, youth 12 and under are free. So the fact that a family of four, 2 adults, 2 kids can come for less than $100, they don't have to pay to park. They can bring in their own cooler. There's some restrictions on what you could bring in the cooler, no glass and things like that. But I mean, it's extremely affordable.
It is.
And we're really proud of that too.
Yeah. Something to bring the whole family and not break the bank for sure. Have a great experience.
Yeah.
So this year there are 3 races across 3 days, right? So
Yes.
what series are going to be out here?
So on Friday night, we'll have the ARCA Menard Series, which is it's a division of NASCAR, but it's really a developmental series. So it's where you see a lot of the up and coming youth of our sport, and some veterans of our sport too race in that series. So Friday night, it's a great race to watch. ARCA is based here in Michigan, actually. So we love it when they come to town. Saturday is the NASCAR Xfinity Series, so kind of the middle tier of NASCAR, if you will. A ton of up-and-coming stars. I mean, these are the kids and drivers, I should say, not kids necessarily, but they're the drivers that are trying to catch the eye of a Cup Series owner that will give them the next step to be at the very top.
Right.
And the very top is obviously on Sunday with the NASCAR Cup Series and the Firekeepers Casino 400. So the fact that we have that schedule in itself is just it's great. We love it. It gives everybody a little bit of a mix. It spreads the races out over 3 days, so our campers have something to do Friday night, and people that maybe don't know a lot about racing can come out for $10, $10 on a Friday night to come watch a race at MIS. So
facility like this.
Yeah, it's a really good lineup. It's a little bit different. Like you said, last year we had ARCA and Xfinity on the same day on Saturday. And so, you have fans that love that, and you also have fans that love that it's spread out a little bit. So.
Yeah, but a triple header weekend, and fans can camp here all week long. Some of your earliest campgrounds open earlier in the week, right?
On Monday of race week.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have a lot load in on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, days before. And I think that says a lot about the area. People love coming to MIS. It's a little bit different than most properties. We're in a very small community, and it's got a nice hometown feel to it. And people love the fact that there's outdoor recreation, things to do while you're here. If you're a golfer, tons of golf courses around. If you want to be on a lake, we have lakes all around us, as you know. Right. So I think that's why people like to come over. There's so much to see and do in the area, and we like to welcome them in as soon as we can.
Yeah, I mean, people literally will save their vacation for work and spend their entire week here, which is awesome. Bring their family and friends out with them. A lot of Canadian fans that you draw in too, right?
A ton, yeah. And as a matter of fact, last year was the first time, after the pandemic, it was the first time in 3 years that they were able to join us here at the track. So it was good to have them back. Were ready. And, we hear from our Canadian fans a lot. They're excited to come back this year too. So,
So lots of campgrounds to choose from, lots of different amenities. MIS is actually the largest registered campground in the state.
We are, yeah. We have the capacity for just shy of 10,000 campsites. So it's impressive. And you're right, we do. We have campgrounds of all different varieties. We have Graves Family Campground, which is a place I love to go personally because it's just beautiful over there. And it's more of a family type environment. There's a lake in the area and a nice shower house and a walking trail and some cool things to see and do. And then we have the infield, which we're well known for because it's sort of the party crowd. I mean, they just have a good time. They get to see the sport up close and personal from inside the bowl, which is really neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have camping of all different shapes and sizes, and everybody has their own tastes and preferences. We have some higher end campgrounds, and we call Apex. It's in turn 2. We have another campground that's in turn 1, and those actually overlook the track for a pretty unique perspective. So a little bit for everybody.
Yeah, it's so awesome. You can literally bring your home here and stay, watch from on top of your campground or your camper if you want. Yeah, it's awesome. So those who maybe aren't camping but don't want to sit in the grandstands, you have quite a few premium club options too. Just briefly highlight a couple of those.
Sure. So we have what we call our Victory Lane Club, and it's actually next door to where we are right now. And that's a very nice experience. You're inside of a suite. You're right here overlooking pit road. So when the cars are making pit stops, you're literally right here seeing it. So that's probably our top tier experience. And then we also have Allied Champions Club, which is back behind us at the upper level of the suite, and beautiful area. And, very much a club environment. So you have an indoor access to an indoor area, air conditioned, there's a buffet and all of that. And then you have a seat that's right outside with a great view of the track. And then we also have what we call the Turn 4 Club presented by Cabo Wabo Tequila. It's a new name this year, but it's an open air tent. So it overlooks Turn 4. It's more of a casual environment, but it's still a lot of fun. So yeah, we try to offer something for everybody. A unique experience just kind of based on what you want to do when you're here.
Yeah, lots of options for sure. So we kind of briefly talked about it, but campground and fan plaza entertainment is big at MIS. You guys really try to turn up the notch and keep people entertained all week long. So what are a few entertainment acts or draws that you have coming this year?
Sure. Well, in the fan plaza, throughout the weekend when it's open, traditionally just Friday, Saturday, and Sunday when it's programmed, we'll have driver appearances on stages. We'll have question and answer sessions. I'll be up there, talking to the crowd for a little bit. We'll have DJs, games, a lot to see and do. And then for those that are in our campgrounds, we do have an infield concert. We have dueling pianos one night, and then we'll have a couple bands on Saturday and Sunday, and then Friday, Saturday, and then we'll also have a Saturday night concert in our fan plaza area, right there by the NASCAR experience, we'll call it. And so we'll make announcements on what the acts are pretty soon. They won't be huge bands, but there'll be some really good, talented bands for far.
Good. So stay tuned. Announce it on social.
Yes, ma'am.
What should we look for? Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Anything new other than all of that? I mean, I feel like we're trying to squeeze a lot into a little bit, but just to kind of give the people a preview and just anything else that's new coming out this year.
Yeah.
Expect.
There's always something new. We're always trying to, hone in on the experience and make it a little bit better each year. And couple of things that stick out to me. One that really sticks out to me is we have a new logo. So we were talking about that earlier, 1,400 acres of property. You can imagine how many places you have a logo. So we're in the middle of that, a rebrand. And then we've got one big project that we're just wrapping up. We're going to make an announcement on that soon that I think our fans are absolutely going to love. But those are the two key things that I think are really new. And then obviously we talked about the 75th being a special occasion too.
Right. And don't be afraid of the traffic, because everyone talks about the traffic on race weekend, and it is, you guys have it down, the patterns, and there's a Waze app you can use to pull you in exactly where you need to go. It's pretty in and out.
It is, and it is. It's such a large event, and we have a ton of people here, and it takes a little bit of time and patience, but it doesn't take hours and hours and hours like some people might expect. We have really good partners with the state, and they do a good job to try to make sure things are as efficient as possible. And we met a couple weeks ago just to make sure we had all the final touches on the plan.
Right.
And hope it just goes as smoothly as possible. But yeah, it's pretty easy in and out.
Good. Well, we're looking forward to it. A lot of rich history here. I know the Michigan Heritage Trophy is a big one.
Yeah.
Because we're literally in the backyards of Chevy and Ford, who are based in Michigan. So it's always a big weekend for manufacturers too.
It is. I tell people all the time, we're in Ford and Chevrolet's backyard, and so they want to protect their turf. And Toyota would love to come in and steal the victory. So, so everybody has an incentive to win. And I know to the manufacturers, that's a pretty special trophy. It's really unique in our sport, and to be right here in the backyard of the auto industry as a whole, there's a lot of pride in that.
There is, some good stuff. So we're looking forward to it. One more time, Joe, remind us of the race dates and where people can go to buy tickets if they haven't yet.
Yep, August 4th, 5th, and 6th. And they can get tickets by calling 888-905-7223, or they can get on our website. That's what I would recommend, because all of the options are kind of laid out. It gives you a good description of what there is.
Yeah.
And that's mispeedway.com.
Okay, awesome. Well, thanks for being on, Joe.
Yeah,
and
thanks for
we'll
having me. I enjoyed
see you
it.
in a few weeks for all this big stuff coming up. Hope
See
you get
you.
a little sleep.
I hope so too. Thank you.
All right. Well, anyone who's looking for lodging outside of camping at MIS, go to visit Lenawee.com, and we'll see you all soon.